this video we'll be continuing with section 1.1, and in the previous section and for exercise 1a you notice that we discussed multiplication and division. In this section we'll be discussing addition and subtraction. When you subtract or add fractions, you need to make sure that the denominator, so let's say that we have two fractions over here, 1 by 6 plus 1 by 7. Okay, when you add or subtract two fractions, you have to make sure that the denominator is the same. Okay, and once the denominators are the same, you can easily add the numerators. So in this case 6 and 7, okay, we need to see that 6 and 7, we don't have any common factors in them. Okay, actually let's see, 6 has factors 2 into 3, 7 does not have any factors, it's just 7 into 1. Okay, so since there are no common factors, okay, the lowest common multiple, okay, of 6 and 7 is going to be 6 times 7, which is 42. Okay, so we change both the denominators into 42. Okay, for the first one, 6 you multiply with 7, both the top and the bottom, both the numerator and the denominator by 7, you get 42 and 7 on the top. For the second fraction, you convert the denominator into 42. For that you need to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 6. Okay, 7 6 are 42, 1 6 are 6, and then now notice that both denominators are equal, so you do regular addition. 7 plus 6 equals 13. Okay, so that's your final answer. The same rule applies for subtraction also. Now when it comes to algebraic fractions, we do the same thing. We find out if they have any common factors and take that into account to find the lowest common multiple. Okay, let's see an example. A by 2x. Okay, this is the same as example 3b. Example 3b that you have on page 3 actually. Example 3b on page 3. A by 2x plus b by 3x. A by 2x plus b by 3x. Notice one of them has 2x. One of them has 2x, that is 2 times x. And the other one has denominator 3x, which is 3 times x. X is common. Okay, therefore the the lowest common multiple is going to be 2 into 3. Those are the ones which are not repeating, and the repeating one is just x. So since x is repeating, you just need to have one time. The x in the lowest common multiple is going to be just once. Okay, 2 times 3 times x is going to be 6x. Again I'm repeating, x is common, so x is going to be there just once. 2 and 3 are going to copy down from each of the factors, each of the denominators, each of the factorizations, and then you multiply this regularly, you get 6x. So in this case our common denominator is going to be 6x. Okay, to convert 2x to 3x, we multiply by 3, so you have to multiply the top also by 3. To convert 3x to 6x, we multiply by 2, we need to multiply then the top also by 2. Okay, so in this case, for the first one, you multiply both the top and bottom by 3, you get 2x becomes 6x, a becomes 3a. For the second one, you convert both the top, multiply both the top and bottom by 2. Okay, 3x becomes 6x, b becomes 2b. Now the rest is easy. 6x is the same as the denominator. 3a and 2b, they just add up as 3a plus 2b. This cannot be simplified any further because a and b are different variables. Okay, so that's your final answer here. Okay, now let's look into example 3d. Example 3d that you have here. Okay, 3 by x plus 1 minus 4x by x square minus 1. Notice again on we have subtraction. Okay, so irrespective of whether it is subtraction or addition, we need to have common denominator. Okay, in this case we have x plus 1 and x square minus 1, and while x plus 1 is simply x plus 1, there's nothing you can factorize out of that, but x square minus 1 you can actually factorize it, and this becomes x plus 1 into x minus 1. Okay, so for the lowest common multiple, okay, you have the common factor, that is x plus 1. Okay, the common one is going to be present just once for the lowest common multiple. The 1 copies down, the x minus 1 copies down. Whatever does not repeat copies down, whatever repeats appears just once. Again, whatever does not repeat copies down, whatever repeats appears only once, and in this case it is x plus 1 into x minus 1. For the time being, we will not be expanding this, we will leave this in factorized form, x plus 1 into x minus 1. Now again, come back here, convert both the denominators to x plus 1 into x minus 1. So we have x plus 1 into x minus 1, and then we have x plus 1, x minus 1. That okay, so both the denominators are now x plus 1 and x minus 1. Now to convert the first fraction to this form, x plus 1 into x plus 1 into x minus 1, we need to multiply by x minus 1. Notice in the previous cases we had numbers, okay, but in this case we are multiplying by an expression. Okay, does not matter as long as you can achieve a purpose of converting a denominator to your common denominator. It does not matter whether the thing that you multiply by, whether the factor that you multiply by, okay, is simply a constant or an expression. Okay, so in this case we have an expression. We multiply x plus 1 with x minus 1 to get x plus 1 into x minus 1. Now, because the fraction needs to remain the same, if we are multiplying the bottom by x minus 1, we need to multiply the top also by x minus 1. Okay, so that 3 into x minus 1 is the first fraction. Okay, again, just to summarize this, to convert x plus 1 into x plus 1 x minus 1, we multiply it by x minus 1. And since we multiply the denominator by x minus 1, we are multiplying the numerator also by x minus 1, and so this becomes 3 into x minus 1. For the second one, to convert x square minus 1 into x plus 1 x minus 1, we actually need to do nothing, because x square minus 1 is the same as x plus 1 x minus 1. So in other words, this is just multiply by 1. So if you're multiplying the bottom by 1, you're multiplying the top also by 1, so it's 4x into 1, which is simply 4x. Okay, now both the denominators are the same for both the fractions, and they're also in factorized form. The next step is a regular subtraction. Okay, so the denominator remains the same, x plus 1 x minus 1, 3 into x minus 1 3 into x minus 1, then you put a minus, and then you have 4x. Okay, on the top you can simplify, so denominator copies, no change in the denominator. The top simplifies to 3x minus 3 minus 4x. 3x minus 3 minus 4x, and then you simplify that to get minus x minus 3 divided by x plus 1 into x minus 1. If you want, this is the final answer. This is the final answer, and this is correct. But in case you do not want, you want to prevent, okay, the x to have a negative coefficient, in that case you can factorize the minus out, and then you have an x plus 3 on the top and an x plus 1 x minus 1 on the bottom. Okay, if you're factorizing the minus out, make sure that you factorize the minus out from the entire expression on the numerator. So okay, just let me use this space over here, minus x minus 3. If you're factorizing the minus out, in that case minus x becomes x and minus 3 becomes plus 3, because the minus is also getting factorized from the 3 as well. Okay, so if you want to factorize the minus needs to be factorized from the entire expression, but if you find this difficult, in that case you can just leave it over here, and that is going to be fine. Alright, that's the end of this video for exercise 1b. Look into the description of this video to find the questions that you need to answer.